If you could welcome Liz to the stage.
Hi everyone, and thanks to the Red Room for inviting me to read tonight. So over the years I've been to many Red Room events. My first official involvement was in 2006 as part of the Toilet Doors poetry project, as Jo said. That was a real thrill for me. It was really exciting to be able to go into Hoyt cinemas and see my poem on the back of a toilet door, you know, where they normally have the ad for condoms or tampons or whatever. They had my poem, so that was really special. That same poem through the Red Room Company was also published earlier this year in the Sun Herald on Valentine's Day. So, I just think it really goes to show how the Red Room is constantly taking poetry to new and unusual venues and exposing all kinds of people to poetry who wouldn't necessarily read it otherwise. This poem I'm going to read first is the one that was on the back of the toilet doors, and an excerpt is also included in the box on your table. It's called Before Tomorrow. Rain runs in strands from a wooden beam to her bare left ankle. The gardenia leaves are lacquered, a gloss of deep green moonlight. Her mind feels for that thin space between breath and thought, just to listen to the night, damp, breathing, not comparing itself to anything. In November last year, I was very lucky to be able to go to Norfolk Island, and because of the rarity of flights, I actually ended up there for a whole week, which was great. I had a really fun time there. Throughout the week, I worked with high school and primary students, and what we did was basically recreated the Toilet Doors project. So students wrote poetry, and it was illustrated, and we built we built a toilet block and plastered it with poetry and art, and we had a actual toilet in the display, and we had a competition for charity where people had to flick coins into the toilet, and that was really popular. Anyway, one of the poems that I worked with the primary kids on was this poem called Family Snapshots. And as you'll see, it's basically a lot of mental snapshots of different family members of mine. And the students had a great time thinking up their own family snapshot poems, and just thinking about their relationships with different family members and how they are seen differently by their different family members. So, family snapshots. Having satisfied the immediate requirements, kisses, hymns, photos of the bride and groom, we arm ourselves with champagne glasses and hunt out the more obscure things. I find that my grandmother's ankles strongly resemble mine. I find glimpses of my cousin's father, who wasn't invited, but snuck into the program as a middle name. Buried right at the back of one lady's mind, I find black and white photos of my father as a child, before he grew up and died to be searched for, while my cheeks get sore from smiling. Everyone searches everyone for significant absences or tears or looks, until we fall down at last among the pieces of wedding cake and half-hearted handfuls of confetti. Tired and bloated with the past, I think someone may have found fragments of someone in me, but when I checked the mirror later, I found only myself. I was just going to read a couple more. Have I got time? One more? Okay. This is a poem called Walking to Greenwich Baths, and I wrote it for my friend and fellow poet, Jane Gibeon. Walking to Greenwich Baths. How you have small, neat hands, the fingers red when it is cold, and fragile, ungloved. You gave me a tight bunch of poppies in a darting action, a handing over that was a snatching back. How you sat across the table at the inaugural anniversary of the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Sunlight fell into our cups like soft white rain and tasted like tears of single origin. How after lunch we sat in the grass, nibbling gingerbread biscuits cut out in the shape of book characters. There were poetry readings, I watched carefully and learnt the art of pinning frangipanis in my hair. How even with the closest friends, there are so many rooms you will never go into. The voice they speak with still differing from the sound you cup within the acoustics of your skull. What they give up, what they let go of, how hard they try to get there. Thank you.